journalist blown up in her car.
Galizia was killed in 2017 when a remote-control bomb went off under her car. She'd been looking into the secret accounts of some of Malta's most powerful people and had investigated corruption in politics, the police and banks.
A prime minister forced to resign, and at the center of it all, an empty company that moved millions. Its name was 17 Black.
Hidden inside the Panama Papers was a clue. Two powerful Maltese politicians expecting secret payments. The money would come from a shell in Dubai, a company no one had ever heard of. That name again, 17 Black.
At first, it looked like another offshore ghost. But when one woman followed the money, it didn't just threaten careers, it threatened lives. Before she could publish everything, she was killed.
To understand how 17 Black became a symbol of corruption and murder, we go back to Malta, 2016. A small island nation, booming with tourism, sold as a European success story, but beneath the glossy surface, cracks were spreading.
Those cracks split open with the Panama Papers. Inside millions of leaked files were two names that shocked Malta: Konrad Mizzi, the energy minister, and Keith Schembri, the prime minister's chief of staff. Each quietly set up a company in Panama. No staff, no products, just shells ready to receive hidden money.
And those companies had one thing in common: a target client listed in their documents. A Dubai company with no website, no employees, no trace. Its name, 17 Black.
$2 million. That's what they were expecting every year from a company that didn't exist, at least not in any real sense. So who owned 17 Black? And why would it pay Malta's most powerful men? The first clues came from the money itself. Bank records showed millions moving into 17 Black's Dubai account, wired from an Azerbaijani energy company tied to Malta's electrogas project.
Money out of Baku, into Dubai. From there, it was meant for two Panama companies, the ones belonging to Mizzi and Schembri. The pattern was clear: a government contract on one side, secret payments on the other.
It was the kind of paper trail designed to vanish. Complex, coded and buried in offshore secrecy, but one person was tracing it step by step.
Daphne Caruana Galizia. From her home office, she was connecting names, payments, and shell companies, posting each discovery on her blog, line by line. She wasn't part of any institution, she was the institution. And she was closing in on 17 Black.
But following the money in Malta wasn't just dangerous, it was life-threatening. The closer she got, the more powerful the people who wanted her silent.
Daphne leaves her home in Bidnica just after 3 in the afternoon. She drives down a quiet rural road. Moments later, her car explodes.
A journalist assassinated by car bomb in the European Union. Her final blog post just hours earlier had read, "There are crooks everywhere you look now. The situation is desperate."
The blast shocked Malta and the world. International investigators arrived within days. 3 men were soon arrested for planting the bomb, but no one believed the trail stopped there.
Daphne's killing wasn't random. She'd been investigating the same network tied to 17 Black. Her reporting had exposed Malta's powerful, and now it had cost her everything.
Vigils filled Valletta streets. Flowers, candles, photographs, all bearing the same words: justice for Daphne. But behind the tributes, whispers began. Who ordered it? Who paid for it?
For a year, 17 Black's owner was a mystery. Rumors circled Malta's power circles, businessmen, politicians, foreign investors, but no proof. Then, in November 2018, the breakthrough arrived.
Reuters journalists uncovered bank documents showing who controlled 17 Black. The name stunned the nation: Jorgen Fenech.
Fenech was no stranger to the corridors of power. He was a director of electrogas, the very energy project tied to those Dubai payments. He owned luxury property, a casino, and a 17 million euro yacht. He was deeply connected to Malta's political elite.
Now the puzzle fit together: the energy deal, the secret companies in Panama, and the shell in Dubai. Money in, contracts out. And the one person exposing it all had been murdered.
Public outrage turned to fury. The word 17 Black became shorthand for corruption, but there was still one unanswered question. Would anyone be held accountable?
The revelation that Jorgen Fenech owned 17 Black sent shockwaves through Malta. Within days, the streets of Valletta filled with protesters, students, lawyers, journalists, ordinary citizens, all demanding justice for Daphne.
The banners were simple. Who killed Daphne? And resign now. They weren't just calling for arrests, they were demanding accountability from those in power.
Under growing pressure, resignations came one after another. Energy Minister Konrad Mizzi stepped down. Chief of Staff Keith Schembri resigned in disgrace. And then the unthinkable, Prime Minister Joseph Muscat announced he would leave office.
The government tried to control the damage, but it was too late. The same political machine Daphne had warned about was collapsing from the inside.
And still, the protests didn't stop. Every night, people gathered outside Parliament holding candles against the winter cold. They weren't just mourning a journalist, they were fighting for their country's soul.
A yacht sits quietly in Porto Masso Marina, its engines idling before dawn. Police surround the dock, waiting for their signal. When they move in, the name on the manifest shocks the nation again, Jorgen Fenech.
Fenech is detained at sea, accused of masterminding Daphne Caruana Galicia's murder. He denies the charges. But the evidence, financial records, phone data, testimony from an alleged middleman, begins to tighten around him.
He's led into court under heavy guard. The world's media watch as Malta's most powerful businessman becomes its most infamous suspect. The case unfolds slowly, painfully, years of hearings, witness statements, and political fallout.
Yet few in Malta believe he acted alone. Too many people had too much to lose. For every suspect named, another door of silence opens.
If Fenech was the alleged mastermind, who were the men above him? The question that started with 17 Black has now become something bigger, a test of whether justice can survive politics.
Years later, Malta still lives in the shadow of 17 Black. The name has become a symbol of corruption, secrecy, and the price of truth. But from tragedy came defiance.
The Daphne Project, a coalition of journalists from across the world, picked up where she left off. They shared files, sources, and stories. They kept her investigation alive so no one could bury it again.
In Brussels, her name is spoken in Parliament. In Valletta, her picture still stands outside the courthouse, framed by candles, flowers, and silent crowds. Justice has come for some, but not for all.
Convictions have been handed down. The hitmen who planted the bomb are serving life sentences, but the trials continue, and the question at the center of this story still echoes across the island.
Who ordered her killing? Who funded 17 Black? And how many people are still protected by its silence?
Because 17 Black wasn't just a company, it was a network, a mechanism for power and greed. And until every person involved is named and held accountable, Malta's wounds will never heal.
Who really killed Daphne?
Subscribe for more investigations into the scandals, money trails, and power plays shaping our world. Because only by following the money can we expose the truth.